Our cars arrived from the auction, and this is what I got. This is a 1992 Suzuki Alto Works RSX. The Works RSX is the hot hatch version of the regular Alto. While the official output was capped at the legal limit of 64 horsepower, it feels faster. The Works version got a close ratio transmission, lower and stiffer suspension, bigger exhaust, higher lift cams, and a larger turbo. This was one of the fastest and best handling K cars available at the time, and still today. The one I bought was kept simple and mostly stock, except for the terrible new paint job, 3 super awesome SSR wheels, and the world's sexiest shift knob. The Alto Works is one of my favorite hot hatches, and it gets 17 kilometers per liter. That's 40 miles to the gallon. This car costs 85,000 yen at auction, and is worth every yen.
Alright, I wanted to pick something with a little more space, something with a little bit more room, something I could take my friends in. I wanted to be responsible. And I would say I got about halfway there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 1999 Datsun Terios Kid. The submodel, the Aero Down version, and I have no idea what that means. The engine in the car is an EF-DET 660cc 3-cylinder 12-valve, 64 horsepower of turbocharged Fury, which doesn't really push the car very much because it's pretty heavy. Heavy because this car comes in both K and non-K versions, so it weighs 1,000 kilograms. But that's not important. What's important is, well, look at it. This car has a lower lip from a Skyline R33 GTR, and that's not the only GTR piece in it. The front mount intercooler is also from a Skyline. It has a boost controller, hard pipes, blow-off valve, custom hood vents, and a turbo duct from a 3rd generation Supra Turbo A. And all of this for only 60,000 yen.
Hey guys, Derek here, and we've got our cars finally ready for the road. We've got Alto Works over here, and we've got Terios over here. And we're right about to take our road trip to Enoshima. And if you don't know where that is, you're going to find out now.
Our road trip is starting here at the office in suburban Yokohama. Enoshima is almost directly south on the coast. But does any road trip ever really go directly to the destination? We'll be making a slight detour heading up into the mountains to Lake Miyagase before we head down to the coast.
Driving the car for the first time. It's noisy because the window's open, and I have to leave the windows open because there's no AC in this car. First order of business is to go to get some snacks and some drinks, because we're going to need those for the road. Do you know where a convenience store is around here?
Just up ahead on the left is a Family Mart.
I see. Signal to Paul. Paul, going to get snacks. Come check this out. Nice parking job, Paul. It doesn't even touch.
I know. It hovers.
Perfect. Man loves their energy drinks. It's kiwi. With seeds in it.
You got everything you need?
This is what I got. Potato chips, jagariko, it's potato sticks, calorie meat, and sweat. What'd you get?
I didn't know we were going to show everyone what we got. I got a Coke, a Snickers, a pack of Pokemon cards. So, I'm ready to give kind of my first impressions that we've been on the road for a bit. There's definitely some stuff not right with the car. The steering feels a little wobbly and there's something loose in the suspension in the back. And trying to modulate the throttle with the little engine of the K car can be a little tricky. You're kind of constantly playing with it more so than you would a normal car, I find. And that's been my experience not just with this one, but also with the Suzuki Wagon-R that I owned several years ago. So it's not just because of the modifications. However, this one is hilariously more abrupt because of all the modifications done to it. So the blow-off valve is constantly going off, and you're constantly hearing wastegate noises or blow-off valve noises just about every time you press the pedal, because the turbocharger on these things are so small, they spool up incredibly fast. And also, we have an R32 GTR bearing down on Derek and I, so that's fun.
Kakoi!
Maybe he wants to race us.
I don't think so.
We're beating him.
So also, worth noting, is that the handling is okay and it fits easy in the lane. Visibility is really good because you're high up and there's glass all around in the circle. Power's okay to keep up with Derek's car. I'm having to use a good bit of it. I'm not sure if that's his driving or if it's just because the car is that much quicker. I assume it's a combination of both.
Initial opinion on the car so far, having just driven it a little bit, is that the car is really awesome. The car mechanically feels great. I'm very impressed with just how much fun it is to drive. Being a small car with a heavy amount of power, 5-speed manual transmission.
I'm glad I bought an automatic and not a manual. Because it may be more fun in the mountains, but this has got to be miserable. And when you drive around Japan a lot, you know, unless you're just really okay with, driving sticks in traffic,
It's pretty awesome.
it can get really annoying. So unless you live out in the sticks someplace, yeah, having an automatic is not so bad. Here. But the cool thing is that when you do a road trip, right, you have to drive in all this traffic until you get out there. And then once you get out there, you're so far away from the city, or you're in the mountains, or whatever it is, that there's no houses, there's no shops, there's very little development. So that's where you get to have fun. The toge routes, or mountain racing, or just good driving. And you have less traffic, but then you also will have cyclists and motor scooters and things like that. I'm interested to see how this trip goes because the area that we're going to is fairly touristy, so I'm sure it'll be really beautiful, but it also could be very not a fast drive. It's a good thing we have other things planned where we'll get to enjoy our speed a bit more out here. But that wasn't the point of today's trip. It wasn't a race. So we're judging these cars on which is the best road trip car. And right now, driving in traffic, I would imagine that he's pretty miserable. and this is pretty comfy. I've got a radio. Alright, Taylor Swift on the radio. And I've got an AC that works really good. And other than constant blow-off valve noise, this is a really nice drive for me. On a scale of 1 to 10, Ryan Reynolds, how good do I look driving this thing?
You're recording me eating snacks.
Of course.
They got nothing on me. Okay, we're heading up now the mountain road that heads up to the top of the mountain. We're gonna go down the other side. I can already see drifting lines on the mountain road here from where people come and drift these roads. So very excited to come and drive this, even if it is in a K car. Here we go. Alright guys, we got to Lake Miyagase. We found a map that shows us where we are. Now, the next part's the exciting part. We're going to go from here up more to the peak. This road is 17 kilometers and it goes up, 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 up. And it's really twisty and really fun. So I'm hoping to get some action.
I'm hoping to make it. To make it up the hill.
So old dude, he's not gonna give you a high five.
I don't think he understood. If I get a high five, will you give me something?
No.
How about a high five?
Okay, if you get a high five, I'll give you a high five.
Yes! Oh, a guy putting pants on. Maybe he wants to give a high five.
Derek, he's not gonna give you a high five. High five, no pants, man. Alright.
Don't hit Paul. what you meant to say is don't hit Paul twice. Hey, he's off-roading.
Eat my dust.
So we found a little cafe up here, and it's just really in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you've seen this road coming up. It's a mountain road with not enough room to pass cars when they come by. And there's a cafe up here. And I guess they cater a lot to kind of bikers or people who come up here on the weekend to come and drive this road for fun. Okay, let's eat.
Stopping for lunch was a great way to break up the drive. We were nearly at the top of the mountain, so all we had to do was go up and over, then head for the coast. We downed our food, washed up with the natural mountain spring water, then hit the road. How's it looking so far? Is one car shaping up to be a better road trip vehicle than the other? Come back soon for part 3 to see how things wrap up.